Happy New Year, brothers and sisters. I'm Groovy Kim. Welcome. Yeah, it's the new year. Let me ask you, do you feel shiny and new? Deep breath. I know I don't. Let's talk about it. Let's see. The reason why I personally haven't been feeling very shiny and new is because this last holiday season was a real struggle for me and my family. I have a loved one that is very, very dear to my heart and is currently dealing with alcohol issues in a big way. And we've repeatedly tried to help them, and they've been in and out of treatment, and we've offered our home and lots of love and support, lots and lots of patience. Nonetheless, the ambulance rides and the police phone calls and the scares in the night continue. And this has been going on for years now. I'm going to say about 4 or 5 years to be exact, with this particular loved one in my family. And this person has gone so far, even with all of our love, to reject it and decide to be homeless. Now, where we live, it's winter time, and it's in the 30s, 30 degrees at night. And if you are intoxicated, I probably don't have to tell you that's extremely dangerous, and you could get hypothermia and die. Or even if it's warm outside, you could still, die in your own vomit, for crying out loud. So being a severe alcoholic is really, really weighing in this family, and has for generations. And I'm one. I kicked it years ago. But boy, I look back on that now, and I look at my loved one now, and I'm comparing all of this. And the only reason why I'm telling you about this, brothers and sisters, is not just because I'm so blue. Not really, I am blue, even though I joke around that's self-defense. I'm only telling you this because you know what I'm talking about if you're going through it. And sometimes it helps to have another perspective that you may not have thought of. And you know how angry people who are addicted can make you, and how frustrating that is to be around somebody that's intoxicated. You can't reason with them. And when there are the moments of sobriety, when they're sober, and this is true for myself as well, when you're sober, you think clearly, or more clearly, of course, and can make better decisions. And if you keep yourself intoxicated, you're not going to make good decisions. That's the bottom line. And if you keep it up long enough, years on end, eventually you start to see signs of dementia, brain damage, to where the person is no longer making sense all of the time. That's scary. That's really scary. I just had an encounter this morning with this particular loved one that I'm talking about. And it just breaks my heart because I see spurts of coherence there. And I know they love me, and I know that our family loves them back, and I love them back. But no matter how strong that love is, the drug or the alcohol is stronger until that person decides. And here's the key. They have to decide all on their own that they're done. For me, I was so sick. I ended up in the emergency room back in 2018. And literally had a doctor in my face yelling at me. I'd never had a physician do that before. I worked for a physician for over 10 years, and I'd never seen anything like it. This man was in my face. And he was screaming at me because he knew I was making idiotic choices, killing myself with alcohol. My liver was shot. I had cirrhosis, and I was dying. And he informed me that people who need a liver transplant because they ruined it with alcohol are going to be way down on the list of consideration compared to those who deserve a new liver because they're in short supply. Do you understand? I was told. Yeah, it woke me up like that. I was so sick, and this man finally made it crystal clear. I was going to die. Well, I had 3 kids. My husband had just taken off and left us. And I was in a terrible way. I was going to lose my home. We were going to be homeless. Decision time, right? I could have kept going. I would have been dead. I wouldn't be here talking to you, my brothers and sisters. I wouldn't have made it through had I not made a simple decision. I was done. I'd simply had enough. Unfortunately, us human beings have what they call an ego, and it is huge for most of us. My ego was so huge, I knew better than everybody and everyone. And you can't tell me that my alcohol or my drinking is possibly bothering anybody. Yeah, right. These are the things you tell yourself so that you can keep going and not face the facts. But you know what? We already know this, those of us who know all about treatment and all that. We know all this. None of that seems to work, does it? Treatment has recidivism that is just through the roof. Why? Because they never treat the bottom problem in the first place. They're just putting Band-Aids on it, telling you you're an alcoholic, telling you you're a drug addict, or whatever else your problem is, gambling, shopping, sex, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Bottom line is you're filling a void. For some reason, you've got a big old hole in your soul, in your heart, that you're trying to fill. You're empty inside. You're hurting inside. That's why you continue to poison yourself. You stopped loving yourself enough to take care of yourself. If you had a little child, you certainly wouldn't poison it. You have a good heart. That's why you're watching this channel. You have a wonderful heart. That's why you're here. But boy, when it comes to having a heart towards yourself, well, now you're just a bully, aren't you? I was too. I was just mean. I'd make every excuse in the book to poison myself and have all kinds of reasons of why it was okay to do so and that it really wasn't hurting anybody around me. It's because I had a hole in my heart that hadn't been filled since childhood. Yeah, okay, here we go. Blame it on your parents. You know, yes, my parents were alcoholics too. Yes, they passed it down from their parents, and on we go. Well, the buck has to stop somewhere. Or does it? Guess that's up to you. In my case, I decided I wanted to live. So I said, the buck stops here. First one in my family. Very first one in my family to stop drinking. And you know what? None of them speak to me except for my mother. Yeah, the rest are all dead from cirrhosis or just don't speak to me anymore. I'm not the same person. I'm healthy. I'm happy. For the most part now, I'm happy. Way happier than I used to be when I was still drinking. But yeah, I still get blue in this whole spiritual thing. Trying to attain higher vibration and all of that good stuff. Yeah, it's a good goal. But you're still human. And you still have a heart to take care of and to cherish. And it's okay to stamp your feet and cry and carry on and huff and puff and even pout. Yeah, that's all right. In fact, it's important you do that once in a while. That energy has to go somewhere, and stuffing it in your body is never a good idea. This person who I'm talking about is calling me right now. I'll get right back to you. I can't let this phone call go. All right, I'm back. So I just got off the phone with them and they sounded great. In fact, they gave me hope. They said they'd just been to an AA meeting. And I felt so good. And I thought, you see, there is hope. And then it became apparent as the conversation went on that they were consuming and slowly becoming inebriated. I could tell by the words were beginning to slur. Accusations began to fly. There was no being contrite or apologetic in any way for the last 3 days of, well, virtual hell that we've all been through. It was just more combativeness and excuses as to why everyone is dumb and really they've got it all together. Yet here I am making a video for you guys. And you know what? To be honest, for me too. Because we're all human and we're all dealing with this kind of stuff. And I figure the more we talk about it, you know, the more we help each other, really. I've been off of my groove. I mean, I really, you know, Groovy Kim isn't so groovy right now. And that's the truth. And so what do we do about this? First thing I have to keep reminding myself is I have absolutely exhausted within my power everything that I could do. I've spent all of my tears, heart and soul and time and effort and counseling efforts, money, and you name it. None of that has helped. You know what it has helped? My own illness, my own anxiety. Oh, it's put that through the roof. Tremendous, you know. What good is that? So my point is, brothers and sisters, ultimately you are responsible for your own happiness. You know, I can explain how to meditate. I can explain how to slow, deep breathe. But ultimately, it's what's going on up here. Because if you're meditating and the whole time all you're doing is thinking about your woes and your problems and why the world is treating you bad, yeah, you might as well not meditate. That doesn't work. You can't have a wonderful meditation and then jump in your car or go somewhere or whatever, switch your mindset right away back to frustration or anxiety or sadness or whatever it is that's bringing you anxiety. No, you have to learn how to self-regulate, not self-medicate. Self-medicate works for this long. The rest is self-destruction and self-sabotage after that. After that first fun little bit of time of numbing yourself, now it's pure hell from here on out. And we know it's progressive and it doesn't get better. It only gets worse. So, bottom line, are you going to love yourself enough to stop poisoning yourself and start telling yourself kind and loving things, kind and loving words, kind and loving thoughts towards yourself? Like, you know what? I'm not going to reach for that drink today, or that pill, or whatever it is. I'm not going to reach for that today because I just decided I'm going to love myself today instead, because the whole world is falling apart around me. And the only thing I can truly rely on is myself. When I start to heal myself and get centered from within and allow my anxieties to melt away and get focused into creativity, I become a better person. And there's a funny thing about that. You do that long enough, you end up wearing off on other people, just like you did when you had your addiction. So instead of giving off terrible vibes where you're disrupting the whole family and your body and yourself and your mental stability, instead of giving off those terrible vibes and repeating the cycle, yeah, try something new in the new year. I dare ya. I did it. I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. I'm not saying it's a cakewalk, brothers and sisters. It is still a struggle. It really is. But not because I have cravings, oddly enough. I just told myself I was done. That was it. No cravings. You can say that to yourself too, you know, that you're just done and you're not going to have any cravings. You're going to be one of those people that just handles it well. Why not? There's got to be more of us out there. You know, it's really not rocket science. I promise it's not. It's literally, for me, just a matter of, yeah, I do want to live. I do love myself enough to keep going and see how this whole thing called life turns out. I'm losing a lot of people along the way, including my nearest and dearest. Makes me want to cry. But what are you going to do? Pity pot, lay down and cry and die? Sure. I know people that do that too. I'm just not one of them. I'm a fighter. That's why I'm here. Hopefully you can glean something from that, because you too have a choice, and it's always a choice. Thank God we have a choice when you think about it. I wouldn't have it any other way. What if somebody made you do things against your will? I mean, we live in a free country. I'm in the United States of America. I'm assuming that you live in a democracy if you're watching this as well. We have free choice. And when we're given free choice, look what we do with it. We destroy ourselves. If that's not a self-esteem issue, I don't know what is. And it's not about being pompous or arrogant. Nah, it's none of that. It's about taking care of yourself and caring enough about life, allowing yourself to fall in love with life come hell or high water, no matter what's going on around you, no matter what fools in your life are trying to destroy themselves. Deep breath. We cannot let it destroy us. Do I have a deal, brothers and sisters? Do I have your attention, at least? I think we can do one better. I think we can make a deal with each other and just say, that's it. This is a new year. I'm taking advantage of it. You're not dragging me down. And I think that's what you and I, brothers and sisters, ought to just have as our own little motto inside for the new year. Ain't nobody gonna break my stride. Remember that song? That's it, yeah. Don't let people break your stride. Keep going. Keep on being healthy on purpose. On purpose choices that bring health, kindness, happiness, and most of all, love into your life. Because remember, love is the universal language that operates absolutely everything, including all the cells and the DNA in your body. When you express love, when you allow love in your heart, everything vibrates coherently. And it makes you happier, feel good, and healthier, and all the rest falls into line. But it doesn't just come to you on a silver platter. It's an everyday, sometimes minute-to-minute choice. I have been going second by second of choosing to be happy this last few days, brothers and sisters, and it's been really hard. Lots of nights of crying and pacing the floor. But then I stop and I realize, what is this accomplishing? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. It's a war, people. It's a war amongst yourself, your higher self and your ego, all yourselves. It's just a war that you keep fueling the fire to. Drama, you know. That's a whole nother addiction in itself, isn't it, brothers and sisters? Drama. Gotta keep it going. So when this loved one gave me a phone call just now, I had a choice. I could keep the drama going. This person wanted to be argumentative with me and tell me how it's okay to keep drinking, and they're very inebriated right now. And I had to make a choice. I could argue, or I could remain calm and say, when you are sober, I will speak with you. I love you so much. When you're sober, I will speak with you. That's all I can do now. I've tried everything else, but I'm not willing now to trade my health for somebody else's misery that isn't mine to bear. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your own mother. I don't care if it's your own son. I don't care if it's your husband, wife, best friend in the whole world. You can only do so much, and then you have to draw the line in the sand, because if you don't, it'll be at the expense of your own health. And we're having hard enough time here juggling our own health and our own thoughts and feelings without somebody else coming along with their own terrible vibrations that they're trying to iron out. Everybody has their own path to walk. Everybody has their own path to walk. And we have to let them walk it. You can't make people walk the path you think they ought to walk. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. Remember the old saying? It's really true. Nobody could make me stop drinking. Nobody could make me. No, I'm stubborn like that. I had to decide all on my own. And now I'm so glad I did, because I feel a whole lot better. I was able to get rid of the scarring in my liver. Has minimized next to nothing. My last ultrasound was wonderful. All of the osteoarthritis in my knees has absolutely cleared up. I mean, I am no longer limping. I'm dancing. I'm exercising. And they wanted me to have complete artificial knees. Yeah. I healed all of that. And all of that, I realize now, I brought on myself with years of conditioning and anxiety and stuff and emotions. Not anymore. I think this is the New Year resolution. I hate resolutions. I don't even like the word. Forgive me for saying it. I take it back. There's no resolution. It's just a decision. It's just a choice. I think in 2022, I'm going to continue my choice, because it's a continuation for me. But for you, if it's new to you, let this new year be a new choice for you. Simple as this. The new choice really is this simple. Repeat after me if you're not clear. I love myself enough that I'm going to take care of myself. And that means brushing my teeth. That means keeping myself clean. That means paying attention to the foods that I put in my mouth, and that I choose healthy options. That means I choose the people I hang around with. Again, healthy options. That means I'm going to continue choosing to stay away from drugs and alcohol and all the stressors in my life that I don't need. I just don't need. And I am promising nobody but myself that I'm going to continue this venture of learning about me and the human body and how it operates, and how my mind can either make it wonderful and enhance it or screw it all up again. I think I'm choosing to keep going with my studies and to keep going with this life that I've built for myself. I actually just decided to become it, to become healthy. It's not a diet. It's not how many minutes did you meditate. It's not any of that. It's a combination of everything, and just a decision of a lifestyle that I'm going to, from now on, take care of me. And by doing so and being a happier person, I naturally attract more happiness in my life and happier people. And the people who choose to not follow that naturally kind of just fade away. There's not much you can do about it, but I'd rather have that than go back to my misery. That was hell. I'm not going back. I love my life now. I get sad, it's true. I get angry, it's true. But I let it out now. I don't hold it in. I actually will go outside and do some brisk exercise, let it out. Sometimes I actually just cry really loud in my pillow. So what? Letting that energy flow is key here. Letting it and keeping it flow. Stuffing it inside or picking up a bottle or whatever else you're doing, that'll never, ever, ever work in the long run. It's only going to destroy and keep the spiral downward going. And you have a choice. You always have a choice as long as you live in a democracy. We always have a choice. So, my point is, it's called life. And we can love these people who are literally making us sick. We don't have to stop loving them. But being angry and allowing that to manifest in our bodies, the frustration and the anger and the anxiety and the worry and the sleepless nights, is for nothing, literally. It serves nobody. It serves no good cause. It only serves to make us sick when we do it. So, well, you say, how? I can't just turn it off like that, I can't just like a switch, just turn off my panic, anxiety, and worry. Well, you turned it on, didn't you? I know that sounds weird, but the more you think about it, the more it's true. For example, I found myself in the middle of just pacing the floor and trying not to cry and shaking and all of that good stuff last night. And all it took was for our new kitten to run across the floor, do something silly. Poof, I was in a new mindset for half a second. For half a second, I felt good. Now, what is that? I allowed my attention to change and to focus on something else instead of my own misery. And that's really what it is, isn't it? When it comes down to it and you think about it. So, I invite you to take a slow, deep breath with me, please, together. Nothing in this world can upset my good vibes if I don't let it. I have to give things permission to upset me. Deep breath. If it is not in my best interest or healthy for me, I am going to entertain it for a few minutes and practice letting it go. Because I know that will bring back everything I've worked so hard to fix, like my rheumatoid arthritis. My hands are still nice and straight. I can still bend them and move them around without dislocating any fingers. I manifested all that. My anxiety is what made me sick. I realize that now. And my anxiety is what will bring all of those terrible symptoms back if I allow it. So I literally have to get a hold of myself and tell myself, what are you doing? I see that you're worrying and pacing or frustrated or angry or whatever it is that's messing up my vibe. I have to stop myself because only I can do it. And when I take a deep breath and I realize just how powerful I am and how powerful you guys are, you're here. You're here. You're here because you need to hear it. You are powerful enough to love yourself enough, right? To give yourself enough appreciation and respect to stop poisoning yourself, whether it be alcohol, cigarettes, pills, gambling, shopping, too much of anything that you know is not good for you. Overeating. Oh my gosh, you guys, I used to weigh 234 pounds. Again, stuffing emotions, trying to get rid of all of this baggage and pain. Being an empath is a full-time job. You know, maybe you're not an empath like I am, but even if you care at all about anything, you're gonna stuff emotions. That's the way of being human. But I'm here to tell you, you can retrain yourself to stop it, or at least recognize it and slow it down. Deep breath. Is this breath for me or for you? It's for both. You know, I actually feel a little better. Maybe not quite so blue. My loved one is going to spend the night tonight outside. And yeah, it's going to be 30 degrees. And yeah, they're already drinking again right now as we speak. And yeah, the worry isn't gone. The anxiety isn't totally poof gone. I'm not magic like that, guys. But what I am is a little wiser. And I know now how to better regulate it. Slow it down with breathing. Allow myself to giggle at silly things, because I know that being silly and allowing yourself to smile releases all kinds of wonderful healing chemicals that help to chase the blues away. And when we allow ourselves happiness and don't let other people's vibrations make us sick, we're learning new things. We're learning new ways to cope. We're learning to be better and healthier in the new year. We all deserve that. You deserve that, my brothers and sisters. You know, let's be groovy together. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And thank you so much for leaving a like. That's groovy.